It's that time of the show where we check in on weather. Nebraska Extension Ag Climatologist Eric is standing by with a look at the latest weather forecast. Beautiful sunny day as we broadcast at the moment, Eric, but how are things shaping up as we turn to the week ahead?
Well, thanks, Bryce. We are definitely going to have some rain to contend with the next 24 to 36 hours across a good portion of the state. In a lot of cases, that's going to be very beneficial. The responsible culprit for the precipitation is this deep trough that will be moving into the central plains as we head into the day on Sunday. Out ahead of it, we are expecting a chance of some severe weather, particularly across southeastern Nebraska. A sharp boundary will be in place during the day on Saturday. Ahead of that will be warm and humid, potentially even as warm as low 80s across the southeastern corner of the state. Quite a bit cooler out to the west. But what is not in question is the fact we are going to get some rain. The question is maybe a bit how much, but there is a slight chance of some heavy precipitation across pretty much the entire I-80 corridor out into eastern Wyoming, with a little better chances of excessive rainfall to our southeast. In terms of storm total, now again, this is also considering the rainfall Thursday and Friday, but storm totals are, again, widespread 2 inches across most of the state. I would guess there are going to be pockets of eastern and maybe possibly parts of central Nebraska where we could get 4 or 5 inches of precipitation. Now again, that's a little bit much in 3 or 4 days, but this is also rainfall that we really could use. In terms of temperatures for the next week, we are looking at generally being above average as we get in starting Monday and then probably lasting through most of the week, with temperatures probably being particularly warm on Wednesday and then probably again on Friday. And the CPC also is pretty bullish on the first week of May being pretty warm. And again, I think this is going to be a signal we're going to see quite a bit of here in the next, say, 2 or 3 weeks. In terms of potential storms coming into the rest of the week, there is a storm system moving into the northern plains midweek, and then another one probably is going to be moving into the northern plains as we head to later in the week. Both will bring chances of precipitation to the state. I think it's a little harder to pinpoint details exactly right now, but there definitely will be chances for some scattered showers or storms pretty much statewide Wednesday, then maybe again certainly by Friday and Saturday, when models are currently a little bit more bullish on that being potential for a half-inch of rain, particularly across the eastern third of the state. The CPC also is showing pretty good signal for precipitation across the entire central U.S. And in terms of precipitation, so again, the last 7 days up till Thursday morning, we had not seen much precipitation in the state, except for maybe a couple spots in southwestern Nebraska, which is again very welcome down here, and a couple of small pockets down here in southeastern Nebraska. For the most part, the last week has been quite dry across the state. We did see some improvement on the drought monitor from last week. Now again, some of this improvement we saw here in northeastern Nebraska, like in Wayne and Dixon and Cedar counties, was because the rainfall that fell last Tuesday, a lot of that came after the cutoff for last week's map, so it was reflected on this week's map instead. We also had quite a bit of freezing. We also saw freezing temperatures or below freezing temperatures across the majority of the state this past weekend, with a lot of places seeing 2 days in a row of sub-freezing temperatures, with temperatures being particularly chilly across the western portion of the state. Matter of fact, there was a couple spots in Kimball County did not even hit freezing for a high last Saturday. It'll be much warmer this weekend. Soil temperatures have bounced back quite a bit over the last 4 or 5 days of being warmer, and they're mostly in the mid-50s to low 60s statewide. Soil moisture, again, it's not totally bone dry down here, but we really need this moisture coming to the state across eastern Nebraska and again across parts of southwestern Nebraska. Thanks. Back to you, Bryce.